Oh God, we are doing this. One more time. Why? I felt like the last few ones I've did haven't been the quality I wanted. Because last time I didn't really have audio issues, but I didn't get the first part of the Crius, like, and things kept cutting out before. I don't know. I wanted to start over one more time. One more time. I can do this. Okay, so what's going on right now is that our maid, Maya, was brutally murdered, and sorry. Our maid, Maya, was brutally murdered. It was like some witches thing or whatever, and now we're marked as one of the suspects or a sacrificium, and now we are doing investigations before the trial. Yeah. Ooh. Oh shit, I forgot. Hello, my name is Sid Peace, and you can call me B. And welcome back to more Even If Tempest Crius route. Let's go. Thomas Unruh, a merchant by the looks of it. It's not a name I recognize. The report indicates he had no contact with Maya, but she was a regular of the markets. I need to ascertain if he's telling the truth about this. I take that you're Thomas Unruh? I'd like to ask you some questions. About Ninja? Okay. Ninja? He's a hero who helped us all out. I get an explanation from someone nearby. I can't say I understand the situation, but this ninja appears to be famous. You come to the right man. I saw him, I did. Ninja is the common man's hero. I'm just gonna move my avatar a little bit. Wrong thing. Where? I work at Kiki Goods now, but my previous job, 16 hours a day, every day with no break. It was a hellscape. Sounds like Sterilite. I didn't work there, but my sister did. She would not recommend it. It's awful. That all ended when Ninja came. Their theft revealed to the world how awful the owner was and how miserable our working conditions were. If it weren't for Ninja, I've died from overwork a long time ago. So when I saw him, oh boy, my heart just about gave out on me. Actually, I bet it stopped for a beat or two. That doesn't sound healthy, but I get it. And it was in that brief moment that Ninja disappeared from view. Man, I need a stronger heart. You're pretty passionate about this. Do you like this ninja person? You bet I do. They're like my favorite streamer. They're the only one for me. Ew. It's nice. It's nice to have something you're passionate about, but shouldn't you be more focused on your own safety? Tonight's trial is a matter of life or death for you. I don't care about no witch. Ninja's the only thing that matters. That blue hair. I don't know. I don't know anything about Ninja. I haven't heard about him in a long time, actually. Alright, if I'm being honest with you, I was pretty scared last night of the witch showing up. So instead of going out to look for Ninja like I usually do, I went to bed early. This guy's hardcore. And when I woke up with this thing around my neck, and then I woke up with this thing around my neck. When I really think about it, though, it's not all bad. Ninja's an ally of justice. If I end up on the chopping block, they'll definitely come save me, which means I get to meet Ninja again. I see. Still, isn't it a bit much to spend your nights looking for them? Well, yeah. I'm dead tired in the middle of the day as a result. Enough that my memory is a crapshoot. Honestly, I'm surprised I can still even work properly. Are you sure you're not falling asleep? That could explain the foggy memories. Enough about me. Let's get down to business. I'm sorry. I know full well why you come to see me. You want to know if Ninja's a guy or a gal, eh? Why would we care? Excuse me. Just pulling up the walkthrough. Because I'm pretty open about it, but I do use like walkthroughs for otomes and stuff, visual novels, because I just want to get the full scope of the story. I like to go route order with walkthrough. Nope. I don't really know either. I only ever saw them on the roof, though I swear they looked awfully slender. Actually, I think Ninja was injured. Their clothes were all ripped up, and I could see some real pale skin and what looked like a tattoo. Wish I saw more. I'm in the camp that thinks Ninja's a girl. Well, boy or girl. That won't change how much I love him, though. You are a bicon, Onra. Oh, wow, it's already this late? Sorry, I got a ninja fan club meeting to get to. See ya. Huh? I didn't even get to ask about anything important. Oh, Lady Carr. What a sweet soul you are to listen to that ninja nerd spiel until the very end. Masses now look more favorably on Carr. Yeah, I don't need details. Meeting the prince is probably the most difficult item on our list. Normally we need to ask for an audience well in advance. Prince Lucian. As it turns out, Master Lucian is looking for you. None of this sits right with me. Why did the witch mention his name? If his aim was only earn my attention, announcing himself as my brother was more than enough. Is Prince Lucian truly searching for me? Or is claiming as much another part of the witch's scheme? What business do the wings of Garuda have here? That collar! I see. So a member of the wings had been branded as sacrificium as well. You got the right of it. We'd like to speak with Prince Lucian. Will you let us through? Absolutely not. Then just relay a message for us. The victor of the War Games Archery Division has come to seek an audience with him. I've heard only he predicted her win, and that he was praised highly for it. You don't think His Royal Highness would want to speak with her? Well, no. I still can't let someone who could very well be a member get close to the prince. Even though Sacrificia are awarded the same rights of investigation as Inquisitors? Think of it like this. If they cut off his sources of info, he might be at a disadvantage during the trial. Sacrificias are at once allies and enemies. I'm sure you understand that what would happen if you threw one of them into that complicated web without a single thread to grab onto. The Grand Commander's cool argument plants a seed of doubt in the other knight. We're only a single step away from our goal, and then the carpet is ripped from under us. I know who this is, so. I don't remember idle chatter being I can't. I don't remember idle chatter being in a royal guardsman's job description. Okay, check it. Parker Neshburn, one of Conrad's younger brothers. He's one of Conrad's flunkies. I doubt he doesn't know of his brother's less savory endeavors. He looked down his nose at me from our very first meeting, so I never liked being around him anyway. When the guardsman explains what just happened, Parker scoffs at us. How disrespectful can you be to even think you'll be granted an audience without going through the proper channels? And we're not about to put someone so dangerous in the same room as Lucian. Leave. Let's go, Grand Commander. Yeah. Now hold on here. Aren't you from the Lysel family? Yes, I'm Carl Lysel, Knight of the Wings Garuda. I knew it! So you are Lady Orla's sister. Stepsister. You know Orla? I most certainly do. I was her first dance partner if I can speak. I most certainly do. I was her first dance partner at her social debut. Okay. Orla is 16. 2 years my junior. So I suppose she would be making her debut about now. I never heard anything about Parker being her dance partner before the rewind. Makes sense that things have changed somewhat at the Lysel Manor compared to my previous life. And, how is Lady Orla faring? Did she like the present I sent her? She gave me a letter of thanks, of course, but I can't be sure if it's genuine. About to politely tell him I neither know nor care about that nonsense, but the Grand Commander steps in. Did you now? Unfortunately, she's been away from the Lysel Manor for some time now and isn't privy to the more minute going-ons, right? Right. It's been 8 years since we've been... But she still gets along quite well with her baby sister. They may or may not even meet up in the city during weekends. Grand Commander Crius ends his lie with the vaguest statement yet. But Parker's selective hearing works in our favor. I see. It's wonderful that two beautiful sisters such as yourselves can get along so well. A dreadful shiver runs up my spine. Though I know his honeyed praise is just a performance, I still bristle at the sentiment. Should you have a message you wish to relay to Lady Orla? I'm sure her sister here is more than willing to be your messenger. Anything would sound much more pleasing from a sister. Yes, I suppose you're right. Would you like to hear her thoughts on your present? No, wait. Asking so outright betrays a lack of confidence. I'd like to ask if the rumors of her affection for Lucian are true. Wait, we're not so close that I can ask that quite yet. Oh, I'll be hosting a ball in the near future. Would you let her know I'd like to invite her as my partner? Why don't you ask her? Okay. Make sure to tell your sister, Prince Parker's magnanimous. Make sure to tell your sister Prince Parker's big ol' girthy invitation card. That's in order. Yep. Oh. Everything finally falls into place when I see Parker's pleased grin. This man has feelings for Orla. You're the Wing's new Grand Commander, eh? I heard you were an unpleasant sort, but I see you're actually quite the reasonable fellow. I'm humbled by your praise. Now I do believe we should be leaving. Now, hold on a minute there. I just can't let you leave after you entertained my favor. God, take them to Lucian. Huh? We have here the Grand Commander of the Wings and the Lysel Marquis's eldest daughter. What could possibly be dangerous about them? His attitude had entirely reversed itself. A few sentences from Grand Commander Crius had changed Conrad into our best friend. Well, I wouldn't say about Conrad, but definitely Prince Parker. This is the kind of thing I lack. I never think to read into anyone else's thought process and focus entirely on my own. I should learn from his example. The sympathize skill has been acquired. The Grand Commander really is something else. I'm glad I have him on my side. Your Royal Highness, What? Spit it out already. I was ordered by Prince Lucian to remain mum on the subject. You can tell me, certainly. I'm his brother. If you're so willing to ignore a royal's orders, I have you fired and check with another guard. Actually... The guardsman whispers into Parker's ear. I see. How very like him. Unfortunately, my brother appears to be out on sudden business. I can't let you see him after all. Could you inform us of where he went? It involves our nation as a whole, so I can't. Forgive me, but I am able... But I think he meant he's not able. Oops. But I am unable to help you. Lucian and I are on quite good terms with each other. I know everything about him. Yeah, right. That guy just told you what he was doing. You don't know everything. Yeah, right, says the man that regarded him no better than the dirt on his shoes. Wait, maybe he's right. He ridiculed him in my past life, sure, but Parker's the kind of person who wants to be in the good graces of the next king. Conrad may very well be on Prince Lucian's side in this timeline. Again, I think they mean Parker. Because I would still think Prince Conrad still wants to be king, right? Then I hope you'll allow me a few questions. Do you know if Prince Lucian knew the victim, Maya Kirkland? She's a common citizen, yes. Normally I would think they never met, though I heard rumors Lucian was using his subordinates to search for someone in the city. I'm not sure who he was looking for exactly, but you can't rule her out as being the one he was looking for. I wonder about that. Mael Diaz, the Witch of Ruin, said Prince Lucian was looking for me. Despite it coming from a witch, I couldn't deny his claim outright, so I just sat on that statement for some time. But if Parker is saying the same thing, then I know at least his attempts to find someone are the truth. Thank you for answering. If possible, I'd also like to know where Prince Lucian was last night. I can say with total certainty he kept to his room. That's what Father's orders, you see. There's one more thing I'd like to confirm. Has Prince Lucian always been so talented? Well, he was always a clever kid. No, he wasn't. As a kid, he was a timid coward. The barest of teasing would send him to tears. Conrad and I once conspired to see him locked in a dark stack room. He cried so hard he began convulsing. Sure, we locked him away, but it was only for 2 nights. Nothing to panic over. But for a while after that, he needed a maid with him to fall asleep. You are a piece of shit. What did that pathetic little brother of mine change? He ignored everything Conrad and I did, and devoted himself to his studies. At some point, he garnered everyone's praise. Was there no defining moment to speak of? Not that I know of. Maybe he just hit his head. Either way, he was much cuter as a kid. I was hit with whiplash when I first heard of Prince Lucian's sudden change. People can't change that easily, so what happened with him? I felt like some unknown power was at work. He suffered so terribly under his brothers. I've been so worried about why he changed, but as one of his subjects, I should be happier knowing he's gotten stronger. I thought the Wings of Garuda is nothing more than a waste of funding, but I need to re-examine my biases, especially when they have such a beautiful woman in their ranks. Ew. Elite now look more favorably on Car. Okay. Oops. Oopsie baby. Didn't know you was your boop baby. Happy and I know it, so I clap those fucking cheeks. Set a reminder for Pokemon in 2 hours.
Sure, I'll remind you today at 8:08 p.m.
I was going to do something else, but I forgot. Oh well. You don't want to go. You don't want to go to the Lysel Manor car? We don't have time for that. Sure, it usually takes time to organize a meeting with a Marcus State, but it shouldn't be that hard for you. Okay, then I'll go alone. I got my own connections I can use. Connections, huh? He must be referring to her. I'll go too. You're not gonna bang my mom. Stepmom, I mean. I'm going back home. My heart sinks when I take that first step. 8 years ago, I got on my hands and knees as I begged to go to the church. My intent for the start was to join the Wings, but I highly doubted a Marcus would allow something like that. Yet, it was my father who gave me the most support. He have still had love for his 10-year-old daughter. Even so, he told me to never return once I'd left. Nothing's changed at all. All the furnishings speak to their luxury, yet have no character of their own. I wonder if that's the kind of thing that suits her taste. Welcome, Sir Castle Rock. Why did I say it like a question? Ooh, I should probably turn off the vibration on my phone. There we go. The butler bows deeply, but only to the Grand Commander. When the Grand Commander realizes I'm being ignored, he scowls. I remain silent on the matter, leaving him no choice but to continue the conversation. I'm sorry for coming unannounced. As I mentioned in our correspondence, I'd like to speak with Lady Orla about the trial tonight. If possible, I'd like to give my regards to Lord Lysel first. I see. Unfortunately, Master Brett is currently indisposed. The physician had declared it to be an issue with his organs, so Master Brett is bedridden. This explains why I never heard any complaints about my becoming a knight. He wasn't in the condition to do so. Still, this is odd. He was perfectly healthy in my previous life. Does my leaving home have anything to do with this? Lady Evelina is currently absent as well. I shall bring you to Lady Orla. Do follow me. The butler must not have recognized you. I didn't realize you haven't been home in so long. You don't have to look so upset. I'm not blaming you or anything. Damn, I turn into a real nag when it comes to you. You're like that with everyone. The more downtrodden someone is, the more likely you are to reach out. You've seen it again and again. And because you stand out, everyone's attention winds up focused on who you're speaking with. Because everyone respects you, they all try to help too. Stop it. It's not that big of a deal. You make it sound more noble of a deed than it actually is. It's amazing he's able to say that. And I'm sure he genuinely means it. I'm sure he'd hate me if I went much further, so I kept my whisperings locked in my heart. This is what I respect about him. And that's why I felt so betrayed by the tiniest action. Respect can turn into something terribly dangerous when it's taken too far. Sir Castle Rock, I do apologize for keeping you. It's an honor to meet you, Lady Orla. My name is Crius Castle Rock. Oh, I know quite well who you are. Not a single lady in this kingdom doesn't know who the Viridian noble is. Orla's eyes glow with a fierce light. She's as enamored with the Grand Commander as most other women are, I see. It's been 8 whole years. Orla probably doesn't even remember me. Assuming she hasn't read the paper or heard anything from the Inquisitors, she probably won't recognize. Is that you, my dear sister? Surprise closes my throat. And it's not because she actually recognized me. It's because of the tears currently pouring from her eyes. I've missed you so much. I know we only lived as sisters for 6 years. We never talked much besides, but I never forgotten about you. Not once. Why didn't you ever come home? I'm utterly bewildered. Is this the same Orla that used the servants to tease me? The very same woman who cackled as she chopped off my hair? Don't think about it too hard. Orla acted the perfect sister back then, remember? She's likely doing the same now. Well, why won't you say something? Anything, I mean. I'm honestly confused. You said yourself we didn't talk much as kids, and it's not like we're related by blood, either. I'm not sure why you think of me so fondly as your sister when everything else says otherwise. I suppose you're right. It must be quite the surprise to suddenly be doted on like that. I'm sorry. Let my excitement get the better of me. Orla turns around to wipe her tears. That movement shifts the dress at her shoulders for only a moment, but what I see there makes my blood run cold. The Grand Commander doesn't seem to have noticed. My loyalty to this household has been well and truly severed. But even so, I hesitate to vocalize what I saw. I'm sorry, sir, but would you leave us alone for a bit? I'd like to talk with my sister. Have at it. I was just about to propose the same thing. What do you need? I gently grab Orla's shoulder. Who did this to you? I just bumped into something. If you truly love me as a sister, I want you to talk to me about this. It was all my fault. I'm not as beautiful as Mother, nor am I as clever. I'm not like her at all. I'm a poor excuse for a daughter. Horror grips at my heart, and I feel sick to my stomach. My mouth goes dry as I take in what I'm hearing. That woman turned on her own daughter when I disappeared. I had thought, as a mother, she would at least dote on her own daughter. It seems, however, I was sorely mistaken. Though Orla isn't being locked away like I was, she is still very much being abused. She's felt a very different despair than what I experienced. How hopeless must it feel to experience violence at the hands of your own mother? The flames of anger that had been burning within me fade away to the faintest smoke. This younger girl in front of me needs someone to protect her. I wrap my arms around her slender frame and search for the words I should say to her as her older sister. I'm beside myself with regret that I never noticed sooner. You suffered alone for so long. I'm here now, Orla. It hurts so much. When I was chosen as a sacrificium, Mother said she regret ever giving birth to me. If I'm implicated as a member, that will smear Mother's name. What do I do? Orla, do you remember Maya? She originally worked here as a maid. Yes, I do. She left with you, yes? I believe she had light cream-colored hair. She was the victim in this case. Can I trust you, Orla? Of course you can. I could never kill someone. She was never high on my suspect list to begin with. Someone of her lithe build could never tear a grown woman's body apart. You needn't fret over the trial. I'll be right there with you. Her eyes go wide, as if finally remembering that I've also been selected as a sacrificium. I've heard of your achievements. You've earned so much praise and well wishes for your win in the war games. You're truly incredible. Compared to that, I seldom leave home, so my knowledge of the outside world and my interpersonal relationships are all lacking. No one would ever think to spare me the vote. Don't allow yourself to get so pessimistic, Orla. I'll protect you. Really? Really, I promise. Thank you. Have you returned home for good? No, there's no room for me here either. Orla shakes her head as a smile blooms on her features. I prepared a room just for you, my dear sister. I've chosen everything, from the curtains to the bed sheets, but that's true of the whole manor. I'm at my most relaxed when I pick out new furnishings and decide how to arrange them. It's the only aspect of my life that truly goes as I will it to. The advocate's skill has been acquired. The nobles now look much less favorably on Carr. I'm still confused. Why do they look less favorably on Carr? I don't get it. Time has flown by. With it being 11 p.m., there's not much else we can do. On this night of chaos, a fiendish moon hangs from the sky. I should look over the information I've gleaned before the trial starts. The carnival is right around the corner. Come make your bets on who the Membrum is before it ends. You might walk away a rich man. Gambling? Is he really trying to make some coin from the trial, of all things? Despite his grossly unethical conduct, not a single person around him berates him for it. Quite the opposite, in fact. Everyone puts their bets with gusto. I feel sick. This is the kind of thing that would make me despise humans. I've calculated the current standings just for you. Use this knowledge to make a smarter bet. Seems about right. I can feel myself start to panic. Sweat drips down my my back. My hands are cold and my whole body begins to shake. I feel like the same woman I was when I was locked in confinement. I don't consider myself reliable in the least. I can't believe I slipped back into that mindset so easily. What was the point of the last 8 years if not to get stronger? Pull yourself together. Fear would only lead to my downfall. I desperately tried to encourage myself, but it's not enough. No matter what I try to tell myself, the shaking refuses to cease. Thank you for sticking with me throughout today, Grand Commander. If it weren't for you, Sir? Yeah. Grand Commander! He leans against a nearby wall, his hand pushed into his chest. I watch as the color drains from his face. I'll find a physician. No, don't go. It'll figure itself out soon. He pulls medicine from his pocket and deftly swallows it. The ease and speed with which he does so speaks to how long he's been dealing with his illness. Are you sick? You need to focus on yourself first and foremost. I can't do that. I can't just remove you so easily from my thoughts. Oh, Carr. That's quite the ardent confession you just given me. But I'm sure your intentions lie elsewhere. Yep, it's just the kind of person you are. I'm sick and tired of losing the ones I love. If I lose you on top of that, I won't be able to handle it. It doesn't help either, Carr. If anyone here is looking to infirm, it's you. The Grand Commander gingerly takes my hand in his. You're shaking. What are you so afraid of? What the fuck do you think, man? We're about to go on trial. Everything. Of losing someone I love and of dying. You are? Why? Because if I'm found guilty in this trial, I'll be burned at the stake. You won't lose this. First save. Because we will be going back on this, actually. Doubt him. How can you be so sure? We can't even predict what could happen in 5 minutes. I'm sorry. That just slipped out. I don't mean to brush aside your support. You don't need to apologize for seeing how you feel. I prefer seeing who you are. I prefer seeing who you really are underneath the knight's facade. Grand Commander. Those aren't the words he should be giving me as my superior. Even so, they help ignite a gentle warmth in my chest. Car, I am sick, just as you surmised. There is a wonder drug for it, but we're missing one ingredient. Without that, I have to deal with this for the rest of my life. I said this the last time I tried to stream this, but I feel like that's a pretty common romance trope and stuff. I haven't particularly seen it in Ultimates and stuff, but I swear I've seen it before. Like, oh no, I'm sick. I'm like deathly sick. And they're like your love interest. What are you missing? Garuda feather, and a specific one at that. Can't be any other color but red. A red Garuda feather. We have 18 Garudas in the wings aviaries, but none are red. I'm sure you remember that we don't have any right now, but Huma's kid could very well be red. Oh, you've given me hope. It's a small, fleeting hope. Red Garudas are the rarest of them all. There hasn't been one in the wings care for decades. There's a much higher chance of Huma's child inheriting her sky blue coloration. Not so naive that I'd immediately vocalize those thoughts, but I also can't come up with anything encouraging to say, so all I can do is bite my lip in frustration. Garuda's longevity means they don't often give birth. I'd all but given up. Did you join the wings to cure your illness? Yeah, I basically did it to live. There was still something I had to accomplish. But I found myself another reason as I started taking care of the Garudas. I wanted to do whatever I could to protect those holy birds. Even ignoring the possibility of this new Garuda being red. I'm just happy knowing I get to witness the birth of a new Garuda. You saved Huma and her child. Believe in yourself. All people are, in the true meaning of the word, alone. Yes, sir. I'm heading back to my office. I'll just be making it harder for you to concentrate if I show up to the trial in this state. Bye, Crius. I look down at my hand. The chill is gone, and the shaking has stopped. Grand Commander. I'll come out of this alive. He smiles at me before disappearing into the crowd with a lazy wave of his hand. He's okay. "30 minutes left. May as well enter the courtroom. Wait. Crap! I don't even know where the courtroom is. Even if Inquisitor Lister had already told me himself, I'd completely forgotten. I have no choice but to check with him again. I made my way to the Inquisitorial Order, fully prepared for Inquisitor Lister's snide remarks to bombard my ears. And then a man appears behind me. Heed my instructions closely. His voice is barely a whisper. The dark brown cowl he wears unfortunately prevents me from taking stock of his features. That clear voice, though, rings with familiarity. Make your way through the market and into the adjacent footpath. You have nothing to be suspicious of. I'll do as you say, but you should know your phrasing is nothing if not suspicious, Prince Lucian. I hear his breath hitch, but it soon evens out as his tensions dissipate. I have long waited for this moment, Lady Carr. After confirming we were alone, he removes his hood. When I finally see Prince Lucian for myself, I understand that he's changed more than the rumors imply. Even his stature has changed. He was prone to slouching in my previous life, but now he stands tall with a confident gaze. He's very much the picture of a perfect prince. I've heard you were looking for me. Does that claim have merit? Yes, I've been searching for you since I heard you joined the church. I panicked when I didn't see your name among their numbers. I never imagined you joined the Wings. I lied to my family. If I honestly told them I wanted to be a knight, I doubt they would have let me leave the manor. Why were you searching for me? Why wouldn't I? Anyone would be worried if their childhood friend suddenly disappeared. I wrote you a number of times, but I never received a response. You sent me letters? I'm sorry. I left home before I even had a chance to see them. They may well still be at the manor. It's fine.
Tomorrow, you'll see lots of clouds and thunderstorms, and can expect a high of 86 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 70 degrees.
Thank you. I don't know why he does that when I don't say its name. You're like, boop. Here's the weather just for you. I'm sure that's something I set up, because it seems to happen pretty consistently. Like 6:30 every day. It's fine. It'd be embarrassing if you read them now. Strike it from your memory. As much as I would like to reminisce on our childhoods, we don't have the time. Unfortunately, you're correct. The trial should be starting any minute now. You are in a terribly precarious situation, Lady Carr. Prince Lucian looks to me with a grave expression. The details of your relationship with the victim and the circumstances under which the murder occurred have been spread to the public by someone with unsavory motives. I see, so they all know now. I remember the last thing Rune told me. His warning not to use the fatal rewind in my current state weighs on my mind. I can't die. Everything ends if I lose my life tonight. I'll do what I can to deflect suspicion from you. Please believe that I am your ally in this. Your Royal Highness, you truly changed. You've gotten so much more stronger than when we last met. I clamped my mouth shut before I thoughtlessly touched on experiences I had not in this life, but in the last. I studied his features, hoping he didn't find my silence strange. I would think you would understand that change better than anyone. Huh? Maybe, I don't know, but maybe he knows something. With different timelines. I don't know. It's just shot in the dark. I have no idea. The area around us warps. Colors and shapes mix together as all is engulfed by chaos. It's time. Where are we? What just happened? I was in my room. I should still be there. So what happened to bring me here? If only this was Ninja's handiwork. I'd let Ninja do just about anything to me. I don't know what to say to that, Thomas. bell that tolls at midnight. It appears we find ourselves in the witch's court. It feels more like we're in a circus tent. Thick drapes patterned with stars hang from the ceiling as bizarre lights float around us. The sacrificials stand in the middle of the stage, surrounded by the gawking eyes of the public. Something about this place reminds me of Elysia, though far more sinister. We must be in some interdimensional space. No wonder I couldn't find it. You would never be able to visit without a witch's power. That seat remains empty. It's exactly the kind of place I'd expect to find that witch. Hut, hut, hut! There's fire out below where we're standing! We won't last a second if we fall! No, please, someone help me. Silence, or you get my whip to your chin. I am Inquisitor Tiro Eyelister, and I shall be serving as facilitator for this trial of witches, for witches, by witches. We're in a space created by the witch in question. Pray remember. We're in a space created by the witch in question. Pray remember that this space is dictated by the witch's will. Should you wish to live, follow it to the letter. What do you mean by will? What else could it mean by the trial? Your tone is thinking. Your tone has me thinking you mean the side with the witch, Inquisitor. And I wouldn't blame you for coming to that conclusion. Still, it is not the first time an Inquisitor has been forced into the role of facilitator. My aim is the same as yours, to capture and kill the Membrum. To that end, I am here to help your debates proceed as smoothly as possible. I ask that the 300 chosen jurors lend me their ears. Take heed of the sacrificious debates and cast your votes for the most suspicious of their number. It is your eyes that will discern the truth. It is your eyes that will discern for us the truth. Now, let the debates begin. Wait, I never debated in my life. What do I even talk about? I would have you decide the topics, but you all look like a bunch of do-gooders. This is a trial. You don't need kindness here. He makes a compelling point. We don't have time to dally. Let's start with introductions. We received information on the sacrificia from the Inquisitors, but the 300 jurors present may not know much at all. Are you sure about that? The tabloid flyer featuring all of us was the topic of the town. Well, either way, I do think introductions are a good idea. I'm Thomas Unruh. I work at... Cut the crap. What? We aren't here to play. All 5 of you should tell us who you think is the most suspicious and why. What? But that's so sudden. Answer me, Orla Lysel. Me? But I don't know. If you don't answer, then it will reflect poorly on you. Oh, I'll answer. I'm Orla Lysel. Marquis Brett Lysel is my father, and Princess Evelina is my mother. I suspect... That painter, he's been acting odd ever since we got here. What? Me? But why? I am sorry. It was a complete shot in the dark. Please don't take it too seriously. My name is Mel Diaz. I'm a court painter. My job is to paint the royal family's portraits and scenes from their daily life. I am definitely not the Membrum. Though I will say an awful lot of people think I'm suspicious. I'd say Orla's the Membrum. Why? Orla only answered the question asked of her. This debate will go nowhere if you're caught in such trivial details. Thank you, dear sister. She came to her sister's aid immediately. What a heartwarming relationship they have. I am Lucian Neshburn, third-born prince of Historica. I have yet to make any concrete decisions, but as Thomas Unra is the only one of our group I've never met, I'd like to hear more of his story. You honor me, sir. My name is Thomas Unra. I'm a merchant by trade and the vice president of the Ninja Fan Club. The one I feel most likely to be the member of is, well, I heard something that made me doubt the Wings of Garuda Knight. He heard something, huh? I'm curious to know what he was told, but asking him now would probably only make things worse for me. Which leaves us with Lady Carr. Would you introduce yourself? Of course. I am Carr Lysel, a knight with the Wings of Garuda. I am currently most suspicious of Thomas Unra. Now that we all laid our opinions bare, let us talk about each of us in turn. I'll be the first subject. Say what you will about me, forget about our respective standings, and let's debate. You ask us to debate, but not a single person here believes you to be the Membrum, sir. He's exactly right. You're the scion of the goddess. No one of your lineage can wind up as the witch's tool. Oops. Skills are now available. Use skills to challenge the sacrificial statements. As there are no use in arguing at this point, shall we not move on to the next sacrificial? It's incredibly reassuring to have you as an ally. You really nothing to say? Nothing at all. We citizens all believe in you, sir. But we've only 40 minutes till the end of this trial, and yet you've only gone through a single sacrificium. Are you fine with this development? Allow me to go next, owing to dispel the doubt placed upon me. Orla. I could never kill another human being. I never even considered harming someone. And besides, these arms of mine aren't capable of much. I would fold in the face of any resistance. Reboot. Sister, what are you doing? I'm sorry, Orla, but you're full of shit. I'm kidding. I don't mean to blame you. I simply want to address some contradictions. Contradictions? There was nothing strange at all about her statement. Please speak on anything you may have noticed. I would be more careful of your statements if I were you, dear sister. Should your reasoning help down the wrong path, you surely earned the public's ire. She's right. People won't believe me just by pointing things out. I need to show why any one of us could kill Maya, and I think I have just the proof. Huh? Everyone's asleep when the Membrum kills their target? I was so tired I went to bed early, I was so tired I went to bed right early. Based on previous records, people did seem to fall asleep at about 2 in the morning. Right, Mr. Inquisitor? Correct. Though we can't say for certain if this case follows the same rules. Though I'd plan on staying awake through the night, I was suddenly assailed by drowsiness and was unable to remain conscious. That magic was used appeared to be a safe assumption. Damn. I need some of that magic. That sounds nice. But why, pray tell, does that make me the culprit? Your argument makes no sense. Your sister is not indicting you by Our Lady Orla. She's simply stating that, as the victim was asleep, They could have been killed by anyone. So you're saying I'm not the culprit? I wouldn't go quite that far. Oh no. Please believe me, I'm not the member everyone is looking for. Why would I ever think to kill someone? I never even met the victim before. Orla. You're full of shit. Just as I think to point out her contradiction, the tears begin pouring out of her eyes. My mother, Princess... Oops, my bad. My mother, Evelina Lysel, is also a scion of the goddess Norna. Her blood runs through my veins. I could never fall under such a blasphemous curse. Please, please believe me, everyone. Orla's tearful plea is an arrow straight for their hearts. Orla and I had a complicated relationship, but that was in my previous life. Our time apart in this life may have led her to growing up into a better person. She's a young, frail girl. I want to protect her, but that contradiction is bothering me. Unfortunately, if I were to point it out under these circumstances, I would face severe backlash. My only choice is to watch as things unfold. Dude, if it was Phoenix Wright, he'll be like, OBJECTION! Up in this bitch. So, I never met the victim in my life. I honestly think it's pretty strange that I'm here at all. Are you sure about that? You're a merchant, right? Certainly she came to purchase from you before. I hear you work at Kiki Goods. Kiki's one of the largest companies in our kingdom. As a maid, she'd most certainly frequent your store. Well, I can't really argue with you there. Still, I don't remember ever seeing her at all. It's like asking someone like at Walmart, do you remember seeing this very specific person? Did I say McDonald's? I meant Walmart. Did I say Walmart? I don't know. My brain is poopy. Poopy. There's no wrinkles up here. Advocate. What? Lady Rose Knight? Are you really defending him? I've thought this odd for some time now, Mail. But why do you keep referring to her as the Rose Knight? Because she's a gorgeous knight clad in roses. Enough! We're, talking about me, right? We've changed topics. Now we will spend 3 hours speaking on how incredibly wonderful the Rose Knight is. Mail, I'm gonna turn you into a practice dummy should you utter one more word. Step on me. Mommy. Is there a reason Thomas don't remember Maya? I may just have the proof on hand. Thomas's daily life. If I play Ace Attorney, I won't be using a walkthrough for that, unless I get desperate. Because it's different. It's much different. It would be no fun if I, like, be like, yeah, it's that, and then it's that. So he doesn't remember what happens during the day? Thomas enjoys late night walks and has a tendency to fall asleep in the middle of the day. Right, Thomas? Unfortunately. I'm ashamed, to be sure. That would explain why you wouldn't remember if she come to your store or not. Still, why do you walk so late at night? I've heard of this chivalrous thief. I see. Oh my god. Ninja is... what is his name? What's his name? A gentleman thief from... Crius. Damn. He's a... Lupin! That's his name. Arsene Lupin. Is Ninja Lupin? That would be fun. Like, I know it wouldn't be, but it just made me think of Lupin. I've heard of this chivalrous thief. I see. So you wander around at night to catch Ninja while he's at work. You're a Ninja fan? Me too! Wow, I suddenly feel like we're best friends. We should definitely talk some more. Well, considering the situation, we should probably save that for later. They should be friends. Besties. He spoke so passionately about Ninja earlier today, but he seems to be lethargic now. The trial must be getting to him. I'm impressed. You've done quite a bit of research on the Sacrificia. Anyway, in conclusion, I'm definitely not the member. Then let's move on. I want to hear what the painter has to say. I thought of him suspicious before, but the more I hear him talk, the more trustworthy he seems. He's just a dork. Oh. How interesting. I always regarded him as someone who felt less reliable the more I hear him speak. Subjectivity is a powerful thing. Shall I make your next portrait a stick figure? Prince Lucian and Male Diaz appear to get along rather well. I doubt I need to make my case now that I've been given the seal of approval from Lady Orla, beloved by the crowd as she is, but I suppose I must. Prince Lucian would get angry otherwise. If I must do this, I'll do it right. I'll build the kind of perfect case that would make even the Rose Knight swoon. Like the merchant here. I never even met the victim. To put it another way, I don't have a motive. And with no motive, I can't possibly be the criminal. No arguments there, I'm sure. Oh, lovely Rose Knight, marry me! Excuse me? Oh, no, crap. That was a figure of speech, you see. That you've no motive doesn't help your case. We already know that the witch robs their chosen member of the morals. We cannot rule out the possibility of indiscriminate killing. A sterling observation, Prince Lucian. It's no surprise that you picked up on the flaw in his argument. I can't tell if you're childish or reactionary to have gotten that breakthrough via your own jealousy, but because of that, the Rose Knight looks suspicious for having backed me up. Finally, it's your turn, Lady Carr. My sister is entirely innocent, despite there being no precedent for it. She joined the Knights because she wants to do what's right. She could never bring harm to another person. That merchant said at the start of the trial that he felt she was suspicious, but I'm sure that was no more than a lie. I wasn't lying at all. I just heard from someone that, well, the victim in this case worked under you, didn't she? And on the night she died, you had been sleeping in the same room as her. What? even heard that the room had been sealed so tight no one else could possibly enter. No. Oh, no, wait a moment. Does that mean she saw the membrum? Is that right? Sorry to disappoint, but I never saw any membrum. Seriously? You're not trying to say you slept through the whole thing, are you? Yes, I am. We literally just talked about it. How it make you go sleepy by. We were all put to sleep with the witch's magic when the crime was being committed. We can't blame her for not witnessing the membrum in the act. Exactly! We mentioned this earlier, too. I suppose, but wouldn't you normally wake up to all that racket? That's a good point. I know I'd wake up. I'm a light sleeper. That's simply how powerful the magic is. This is the Witch of Ruin we're talking about, after all. You be a strong one. Can we really prove that, though? None of us here know anything about magic. That we don't know. Master Diaz, just whose side are you on? Do I have any evidence concerning magic? Shush, shush, shush. So then, you have a relationship with the deceased? You're the only one who has a relationship with her, so that, makes you pretty suspicious. Maya was my maid. That's why we lived together. But she loved her maid. She lived with the victim. It has to be her. Remember as the night, what kind of riffraff are the wings of Garuda letting into their ranks? The wings were a joke to begin with. They sink over 100 million gold in taxes a year on the Garudas. What? Why should our taxes go to some bird when they could be used to help our citizens? That filthy knight deserves the gallows. Swing from the gallows and wave. I'm gonna die at this rate. But I can just try again if I die. But I can just try again when I die. Losing now isn't a big deal. Stop it. Stop thinking like that. I'll just be trapped in this endless death loop forever if I let myself lose so easily. I must survive this. Something nagged at me earlier, and I think I can use it to turn the situation around. Oh, I was supposed to save. Second save. I'm not the only one who knows Maya. She was originally a Lysol family maid, after all. Wait, she was? When we spoke at the manor, you remembered Maya's hair color, didn't you, Orla? Oh, yes. I suppose I did. I'm sorry, I was so nervous that I completely forgot. We are nearing the end. I want you to tell me your conclusions one at a time. Already? Fine, let's get this over with. After everything, I still think our Dame Knight is suspicious. Only the witch can prove whether or not they were magic to sleep. For all we know, they never used anything of the sort. Oh, yeah, that's true. One vote for the Rose Knight. Just kidding. Sorry. We aren't accepting any repeals at this stage. What? I'm so sorry, Lady Rose Knight. Now it's my turn to answer. And who do you implicate, Orla Lysel? You really are my sister, aren't you? Everyone's arguments have made me so scared. Listen, Orla, But I still want to believe in you. You're my one and only sister. I refuse to choose. I don't want to bring harm to anyone here. Orla's statement does nothing to change the ways things are so obviously going. The decision was made before we even took the stand. I lost the moment this all began. This is a people's court. The veracity of evidence and testimonies means nothing if it doesn't sway their hearts. Were my investigations all for nothing? Did I spend my last half day a fruitless venture? Surely there's something I can do to turn things around. What are your thoughts, Prince Lucian? There is no use thinking on this matter, not when I am the membrum in question. No, you're not. What? Prince Lucian, this is neither the time nor place for jokes. I'm not kidding. I am the membrum. What? We will now begin the voting process. May the 300 jurors present choose wisely and justly. Oh, he gonna die. Prince Lucian, what were you thinking? I'm keeping my word. I will protect you. But why? The crown is rightfully yours. You shouldn't be throwing your life away like this. I know. And that's why I spent today entrusting the future to those I trust. I have more allies than you might think. Our discussions left me with the impression that you have a secret plan in the works. Am I wrong? My death could very well start something. It could throw the curtains back on some truth. But I know that no matter what happens, you won't make my death a meaningless one. Let not grief crowd your eyes. Bear witness to this. Lucian Neshburn's final curtain call. A path no more than 2 feet wide appears in front of Prince Lucian. Master Lucian, wait! I was honored to have my portraits painted... Oh, oops. I was honored to have my portraits painted by you, Male. But, to me, that I could call you a friend means just as much. You can't! Stop! Please don't go! Master Lucian! Master Lucian! Male. Oh my god, Yowie. Tragic Yowie. Prince Lucian is cut off by a shadowy hand pushing his back. His body floats gracelessly through the air, until finally he drops down into the pit of flames. Master Lucian! The mood in the venue could not be any more different than when I was executed. Not a single person ridicules the prince's death. I'll hear more in the loss of a young beacon of hope. It's happening. This can't be 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 happening. Why? Why did Prince Lucian have to die? Nothing pointed to this happening, did it? Why did you vote for him? How black are your souls? This wasn't supposed to happen. Ugh. Well, he confessed. Is it any surprise this happened? Is this so hard for you to believe, Orla? Of course it is. I refuse to believe Prince Lucian was the membrum. He's an outstanding individual. And his family, besides. I agree with you. Prince Lucian wasn't the membrum. Inquisitor Lister, I request a continuation of this trial. You want to keep going? Why? We already executed the membrum. We're out of time. And no wonder. These trials are only meant to last an hour. We can't continue. I request an extension too. There's no way he's the membrum. if it's an extension you want, then you'll have to negotiate with the witch. Listen up, witch. Is this the kind of entertainment you were looking for? Are you satisfied with a simple confession and a boring, tragic ending? I'll give you the entertainment you crave, so let us continue this trial. No response. Does that mean we have to end it here? No. If the witch was happy with our performance, we'll be back in our world by now. Since we're not, then I can only assume Miss Red's proposal has been accepted. Continue the debate? Oh, look at him smile. He's happy about that. The witch's tool, Membrum. I had long wondered what it meant to have your heart eaten away by the witch. But Prince Lucian's death had given me a glimpse into the truth. Orla is a victim. Because I left home, Orla had to suffer from her own mother's neglect and abuse. I empathize with her, really. She didn't deserve any of that, and a part of me even feels guilty. That being said, I refuse to let the madness you just shown pass. Orla, you remembered Maya was my maid? Oh, yes, I did, but that's all. I have no reason to kill your maid, sister. But you do have a reason. Maya was my maid. What? What are you trying to imply? You loved her, did you not? She was the only one of the maids you took when you left home. I would never do something to make you sad. But that's exactly why you killed her. You wanted to make me suffer. I would never. I love you too much to even think about it. Are you sure you don't mean loathe? How could you say that? What reason would I ever have to loathe you? What reason? I can think of only one. Can I take your silence to mean you believe in me? Not at all. Murderer though you may be, I'm reluctant to reveal this particular secret. Unfortunately, I must put a satisfactory show on for the witch. What? You blame me for the abuse you received from your own mother. Huh? Abuse? Oh wait. Huh? Abuse? Her mother is Princess Evelina, right? Princess Evelina abuses her daughter? Impossible. I can't believe it, but she says it with such confidence that can only mean it's true. No! Mother does no such thing. She loves me like I'm her own... She loves me. I'm her own daughter. Orla is the one being hurt here, so why does she defend that woman? I can possibly only ask that question. Probably only ask that question because I don't remember my own mother. I can remain far more distant from the issue. For better or for worse, that makes me the best person for this role. Had I remained at home, I would have been her target. And I know this because she tormented me up until the moment I ran away. That was, in all likelihood, the happiest time of your life. But what difference does it all make? Right now, you are still having to deal with the pain she inflicts on you day after day. Shut up! This is all your fault. If you just behaved, I would never have to let go of my happiness. You ruined my life. No, I didn't. Your mother did. Mother has done nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. It's all my fault. It's all because I'm not as beautiful as Mother. It's because I don't have her blonde hair. But I found out what I need to do. I found out how to make her love me. But you took even that method away from me. I think I know what she left unsaid. It was this that led her down a slippery slope. Though I've already guessed where this road ends, I carefully led the jurors along to the final conclusion. Many in noble circles have heard the rumors that you held romantic feelings for Prince Lucian. Is there truth to these rumors? Of course there is. Who wouldn't fall for such an impeccable man? In that case, how did you feel when you saw this? After I left home, Prince Lucian wrote me a letter. You knew about this, didn't you? Do you enjoy dredging up these awful memories? I ripped that thing to shreds. I felt sick reading it. He went on and on about how he respected you and was inspired about you. But he was such a child at the time, so I thought nothing of it. But when he kept looking for you, he visited so many times asking if we'd heard anything from you. His earnest nature crossed the line to something revolting, which is such a shame. He shares the same beautiful blonde hair as mother. Ew. He wanted to brand me as a member and to dislodge me from Prince Lucian's heart. He also wanted me to suffer in the process. Your best option was to kill Maya and set me up as the murderer. Sounds like a sound argument to me. But she did that all for such a petty reason? I mean, the victim was so brutally killed. She was even dismembered, her limbs hanging everywhere like morbid decorations. Decorated? What do you mean? You need some serious bloodlust to do something so gruesome. It's disgusting. Disgusting, you say? Huh? What? Am I wrong? That wasn't the result of bloodlust. When Inquisitor Lister saw Maya's remains, he said something interesting. He said her dismembered limbs were arranged carefully around the room. I wasn't sure what he meant at first, but when I think back to the scene, I see he's right. One leg and arm each hung from the ceiling. Her head was decorated atop a flower vase. Her organs... I snapped my mouth shut. I can't remember any more than that. Every part of her body was carefully and deliberately placed, like they were just another part of the room's decor. I felt sick to my stomach, but... in light of your fondness for interior decorating, I suppose that scene is just normal in your eyes. What a shame. Do you think there will be those who couldn't understand that beauty? I'd taken a deep breath and slowly let it out. So you confess, then? Confess? You made me feel like I've done something wrong. All I did was kill a mere servant. We will now begin the voting process. May the 300 jurors present choose wisely and justly. Why, Orla? I couldn't have known that. What a surprise. I've done nothing wrong. I hated her. After all, what else was I to do? It was her fault for doing something that earned my ire. Yes, of course, it was all my sister's fault. A woman as a knight? Give me a break. How dare you be so tall and beautiful? You aren't even mother's child. And then there was Prince Lucian. I loved him so much, so why didn't he feel anything for me? I'll never forgive any of you for this. You should all just die. Oh, Prince Lucian's already dead. Oh, Mother, I'm sorry, I'm so ugly and stupid. I'm sorry I couldn't be like you. Please stop hitting me, please. I'll work harder so. Please, love me. Orla Lysel neither screams nor begs for her life. She simply continues her search for her mother's love. As she falls into the flaming vortex below. be able to forgive myself for this. If only I realized the truth earlier, Prince Lucian would still be with us. That's true, but I still think this is a positive ending. We got the real member after all. I'm sure Prince Lucian is smiling upon us. Thomas, there was something I'd like to confirm with you. Yeah? How did you know the details of Maya's death? Oh, that's because I read through the investigation records the Inquisitor gave me. All the details are in there. I thought all the sacrificial received them, did it not? Huh? Wait now. Hold on a second. I got those records too. But the only details written were that the body was dismembered and the limbs placed around the room. It didn't mention anything about decorations. So, why do you know that? Inquisitor Lister whips flexes across to hit Thomas, yet the hit never lands. The whip goes right through him. Aw, I knew Mr. Inquisitor over there figured me out, but I was hoping to keep everyone else in the dark until we were over. Thomas, did something happen to your voice just now? It's awfully different. Guess acting just isn't your thing. You gave yourself away, you shitty witch. Says the powerless Inquisitor who couldn't lift a finger even after figuring out who I was. That was a fun game, Car. I win. You only won because I granted an extension. But you know what? I'll give you this one. I enjoyed myself. Well, toodaloo. The witch disappears, and though we manage to leave the strange courtroom, we must leave Orla and Prince Lucian behind. The witch had taken up Thomas's spot at the very start of the trial. A few days later, I received a letter of apology from Inquisitor Lister for allowing that to happen. The Liesel family's secrets are thrown into the spotlight, but they are just as quickly covered up. The king may have been able to erase the scandal, but the grief of losing his son would never disappear. Prince Lucian's death affects the king greatly, his health apparently deteriorating. Once it becomes clear this is no simple cold, the nobles begin to whisper of Conrad's inevitable ascension to the throne. You're training this late? It's right around the corner, you know. That's why I'm training. I need to do something, or I feel like I'm going to explode. You're surprisingly laid back about this. Aren't you worried? Oops, that was... You're surprisingly laid back about this. Aren't you worried? Of course I am. Birth is dangerous for humans and Garudas both. And since Garudas are birds, there's a risk of egg binding. I spend every spare moment praying for a safe birth. There is that too, of course, but if the chick isn't red, you'll never get a cure for your illness. The shell of a Garuda's egg matches the color of the chick within, which means we won't even have to wait for the chick to hatch. I'm so nervous. I hope Huma has an easy birth, and I hope her chick is red. Aren't you being greedy? Probably should have waited till after she laid her egg to tell you. It just made you worry needlessly now. It's far from needless. What's wrong? I was just thinking about my sister. I think Orla wanted to give birth to Prince Lucian's child. His child? I thought she was only 16. She wanted a child that resembled her mother. She was convinced she could earn her mother's love by giving birth to a child that resembled her. Prince Lucian and Orla were cousins. His blonde hair and fair looks are among those of royal lineage, the most similar to her mother's. She likely thought marrying him was her only path to having a child resembling her mother. Royal lineage, looks, status. Prince Lucian had everything she needed for her plan. But his execution rendered her plan an impossible dream. I think that's why she broke down and revealed to us that she was the Membrum. Grand Commander, I saw you with my stepmother. Will you tell me why you were together? Grand Commander, Carr, Huma's got into labor. Ooh, that's done. She safely laid her egg. And the color? The color? What color is the egg? I think that'd be obvious. It's the same blue as the mother. Be happy. Your Gerudo safely gave birth. Yes, sir. Good job, Huma. You deserve a nice long rest. What was with this light? Eek. Eek. Huma. The light slowly fades away. When I can finally open my eyes, I can't believe what I'm seeing. How convenient. Huma's covered in blood. Calm down. That's not blood. What's going on here? Huma? She's red. I wrap my arms around her. The motion seems to tickle her slightly, but she doesn't pull away from my embrace. I have the faintest idea. This is where I should check my past records, if they existed. What should I do? Huma seems just fine, so let's just leave the complicated matters for later. We should celebrate the birth of her chick. Exactly. It's a happy day. The Wings haven't seen a Gerudo birth in 26 years. Well, I suppose. You'll be able to cure your illness like this, right, Grand Commander? Right. Don't go announcing it. Illness? What illness? Never heard anything of the sort. Alright already. I'll explain that later. For now, get all the knights together. Make sure you grab the ones on leave, too. Tonight, we celebrate. Thanks to our victory against the witch, Gar has regained the retrocognition ability. Woo! Coolio. Save! Hopefully this one turned out decent. My mouth's getting tired. It's time to take my meds. But yeah, I definitely don't want to record it another time. The first time the audio was shit. The second time the audio kept cutting out. The third time, well, it was pretty much okay, but I left out a part. And I didn't want to go back on the cutout part, because whatever. But now, hopefully it turned out okay. Yeah?
I cooked the burger in the toaster oven if you want one.
Okay. Looks like I'm getting a burger. Anyway, thanks for watching, and no one else, but see you next time. Bye. Where is my cursor? Where's my cursor? Oh, there it is.